Conference games left, too many conference games back. So in essence, the rest of the season is like a playoff for the Coyotes. And they would love to get one in the win column over a team that has beat them twice, the Parsons of Snead State. How are you? And hi, everybody. I'm Robert Williamson. Welcome to the coverage on a Monday, Columbus Day. Hope the day's been kind to you. It has been gorgeous weather outside and perfect indoors for this one as you take a look at the ladies who will be on the floor first. Rowell, Godwin, Devine, Phillips, Eli Manley, and the libero Dismuke for Snead State out of Boaz, Alabama. Meanwhile, these ladies begin things for Coastal South. Craven, Snow, Stewart, Alleman, Martin, Wilson, and your libero Boudreaux. And we are ready to get this one underway. Brought by Wilson, and Wilson will immediately give the lead to Coastal South. Well, I'll go ahead and apologize for the voice. Really don't know what's going on. It's been going on off and on for about a year. And, you know, doing the little stuff you're supposed to. Maybe even a few things you ain't. Just to try to get it to work right. Maybe it'll hang in there long enough to give you these Coyotes and these Parsons. That will go long. And we turn it into a 1-1 ball game. Well, going back to serve is Gracie Manley. Manley, the freshman, on the season, a total of 8 aces. Drives it over, picked up by Snow. Back set to Wilson. Aims for the corner, but goes a little long. And actually, check that. Manley, 47 aces. I was looking a line up to Eli. Manley has been dominant. Number 2 on the team in aces. Driven over by Martin. And the game tied up at 2. Serve goes back over to the other side of the floor. And it will be Rachel Wilson doing the honors, the freshman who, as I've mentioned, leads in so many different categories. I think every time we talk Coyote volleyball, you got to talk about the fact that Wilson leads in kills per set, hitting, service aces a set. And is bumped over to Alleman. Picked up on the opposite side by Godwin. Dropped over. Snead State will break the 2-2 tie. Couple of teams that met on the 12th of September. They met on the 23rd of September. And out of the 7 matches played, as that will drop in front of the inline. And Godwin will pick up her 58th ace of the year. As a team, 231. Picked up by Alleman. Bumped over to Craven, shoves it across. Dinks it over the block attempt by Rowell. Then Rowell drives it. Makes it a 5-2 game. Got a couple of volleyball matches going on with Coyotes tonight. The North version taking on Pensacola Christian. They are a little better than an hour into their match. Brian McCullough on the call there. We are just barely into this one. It is bumped over to Craven. Craven able to send it through the block of Rowell. Aiming for the corner and going a little bit long. That is Jaylee Devine. Good to have you watching wherever you're watching, whether it is online, on our website, online on YouTube, or on Facebook. Picked up by Dismuke. Lobbed over by Godwin. Back set. That is German driving it, blocked. Able to retrieve it is Hardigan. Over the mid part of the floor, and Devine will slam it. Parsons taking a 6-3 lead, doubling up on the Coyotes. And back to serve is Devine. out of conference play between these two teams, but within the conference, Snead State right in the thick of things. Currently number 3 in the North with a 6-3 conference mark. Caitlin Clark serving. Martin dinking it over that front line, shoved into the backcourt, aiming for the corner was Manley. Manley over to the left side, driven down the line by Rowell. Parsons take a 4-point lead. And Caitlin Clark will serve again. Clark with 12 aces. 7 kills on the year. Martin, Hardigan, over to Alleman. Alleman driving it off Manley. Hagen Stewart back in. Off the floor is Alexandria Miller. Backing up the serve is Kinsley Martin. Martin tops on this team in blocks per set, number 22 in the conference. There's 4 hits with a dink over by Eli. And the Coyotes drawing to within 2. Man caught the antenna. No, it's irregularity on the opposite side of the floor. Point awarded to Snead State. Parsons will take an 8-5 lead with Lainey Phillips serving. And congratulations, by the way, to Snead State. Casey Underwood, baseball coach, is now baseball coach / AD. Dinked over by Stewart. And I am sure Coach Underwood will do a fine job. Gonna miss Mark Richard, the former AD, but he's calling quits, retiring. I think he's gonna do a little traveling. Got a son that lives in Colorado. Trying to get it over the, I think that was Wilson. Yep, Wilson stepping up for the block. Unable to do so, and the Coyotes draw to within 1. So have fun, Martin Richard, in your travels, and good luck to Casey Underwood. Sent over to Clark. Caitlin Clark now in the lineup. 2-handed shove over by Manley. Back set, German drives it in. We're tied at 8. And the Coyotes serve again. Alleman doing the honors. Alleman with 10 aces on the year, 110 as a team are the Coyotes in aces. First pass, Rowell. And a little collision between Parsons, but Eli drives it over. Stewart trying to get it into the corner, able to pick it off was Phillips. 2-handed shove over, Alleman, put right back by Eli. Bumped over to German. They'll get all kinds of fingertips on the way out. And the Coyotes will take the lead. 9-8 advantage. Snead State won at 3-0 on the 12th of September, 3-1 on the 23rd. First pass from Clark. Blocked back over by Wilson. And the Coyotes by a pair. Alleman serving. 2-point Coyote lead. And Alleman on the serve. Bumped over to Rowell. Rowell drives it. Able to pick it off Cramen. Boudreau will send it across. Little dink over. What a dive and dig by Cramen. Over to German. Drives it. That will go off fingertips. Wind up right here in the corner. And turn into the 11th point for the Coyotes. Turn it into a 3-point lead. Keep looking over to the Parsons sideline, anticipating a Christie Brothers timeout. Haven't gotten one yet. And is dinked over by Manley. Wilson driving into the backcourt. Nice dig out. That was Godwin. Godwin, the drive across. Cramen able to get to it. Wilson just a little bit long. I do not know how Snead State fared against Bishop State. They played earlier today, and then Snead State hangs around and plays tomorrow against LBW, making a little swing through. Rowell the serve. Cramen returns. Mid part of the floor, a little fist over by Eli. And the Parsons, they will get to within one. Well, I guess I could log into the former Twitter, now X, as you got a ace from Rowell to tie it up at 11. And see if maybe somebody, specifically the ACCC, might have a final score from that match earlier. Boudreaux. Wilson will drive and able to get a fist on it. Was Clark. Saved by Phillips. Clark the free ball over. Olivan setting up Wilson. Drives it. That'll go over towards the Parson bench. Well, I don't see anything on the ACCC site. Let me go with Snead State. See if we can find something there. Bumped over to Manley, and Manley goes a little long. Sent to the mid part of the floor. It is dinked over by Godwin. Drops in. Snow trying to get to it, could not. 1 point game. Villamero serving. Jaden Dismuke drives it over. Boudreaux, Snow, and then Wilson. And Wilson a little long. Tied up at 13. And is driven towards the corner, but a little bit long. And the Parsons take the lead. 14-13 advantage with Dismuke serving again. I'm looking all over the place. I've traveled across the universe on Twitter. Haven't yet found a score from that Snead State matchup earlier today. That'll drop in front of the end line. And we are tied at 14. I believe that is Alexandria Miller getting ready to serve. Little slap over by Manley. Setting up Martin, and Martin will drop it in front of the sideline. Coyotes by 1 in the opening set, with Alexandria Miller again serving. Miller with 20 aces on the year. That is second most on the team. Wow, what a rocket perfect set. Devine makes it a 15 apiece game. Back set, Wilson, too long, didn't get fingertips. Snead State with a 1 point lead. Tracked down by the libero, that is Dismuke. Free ball sent over. Dismuke in the backcourt. Blocked back over by Martin. $16 each. Rachel Wilson on the serve. Wow, back and forth match. As Alina Godwin serves, already has an ace to add to her 57 coming in. That might have gone out, but Ottoman couldn't afford to wait and see. Hardigan with a back set over to Ottoman. Tips it over, that does go out. Parsons with a 2-point lead. Too long on the serve from Godwin. Well, Coastal Alabama North back on the winning track. Got revenge for a loss earlier in the year to Pensacola Christian. They have won in Bruton, Alabama tonight with a sweep 3-0. And that is without Morgan Higgins. Higgins, one of the starters, out because of a very slight injury. She should be back on Wednesday. (19-17) game. Caitlin Clark will serve. Free ball sent over by German. Picked up midcourt by Godwin. Rowell with a kill. And the Parsons now 5 away from an opening set win. Coyotes 8 from that mark. Martin first, Hardigan over to Alleman, and Alleman sends it into the net. Timeout on the floor asked for by the Coyotes in a 21-17 game.
You need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
(21-17) contest. Alleman drives it and is dug out by Godwin as we resume play. Coming out of the Coyote timeout, Martin with the kill. Well, I searched the world over and finally found what happened earlier today between Bishop State and Snead State. Bishop State won it 3-2. Of course, again, out of conference, no impact on the Parsons standings. Alleman reaching up to block Wilson. Bumped over to German, blocked out of bounds off of Eli. And the Coyotes with a couple of points coming out of the timeout now cut it to a 2-point game. And thus far, there is the ace served up by Martin. Thus far, that match between Snead State and Bishop State, the only one that had been completed until Coastal North beat Pensacola Christian. Well, check that. Lawson State has knocked off Southern Union. Little dink over by Rowell. Saved by Ottoman. Stewart tried to sneak it over and couldn't. Fell just short of the net. Serving is Laney Phillips. 22 serving 20. Both teams within 5 of wrapping it up, but the Parsons a little closer. Hardigan with a set to German. And German will slam it in this direction, but go long and make it a 23-20 contest. Phillips again with the serve, 34 aces. Got a lot of double-digit aces for Snead State when you got a total of 231 coming in. But instead of an ace and error, hands it back over to the Coyotes. Alleman will serve. That will ricochet off Clark. Coyotes within one. Well, for the Parsons, as I mentioned, a swing into South Alabama, but a tough swing. Got Bishop State, got the Coyotes, who are playing some of their best volleyball because a lot of their injured have returned. And then LBW tomorrow. Shoved over to Wilson. Dive and dig by Godwin. And that will go long with a bump over. We're tied at 23. Here comes Devine back into the lineup. Also the libero Dismuke coming in. Alleman will serve. Dismuke gets it first. Rowell able to send it over despite a not particularly good pass. Wilson and Eli with a little joust. That goes out. Coyotes take the lead. And that will prompt a Parsons timeout. The Coyotes one away from an opening set win.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. So what are you waiting for? Discover aviation at Coastal Alabama Community College.
The tables have turned. Parsons were on top, 23-20, 4 in a row from the Coyotes. And the Coyotes now a point away from taking the opening set. Alleman serving. Rowell gets to it first. Popped over by Eli. Craman with the dig out. Free ball sent over by Boudreaux. To the mid part of the floor, driven. We're tied at 24. Somebody's got to hit 26 to win this one. Well, I wonder if this is going to be anything like that opening set between Gadsden State and Coastal North last week that finished 38-36. Wilson flips it over. Nice job on the save by Dismuke. Tipped right back over by Stewart. Driven into the backcourt by Godwin. Boudreaux there. Pancake by Rowell. Craman. Alleman over to Wilson, and Wilson a little bit wide. Set point, Parsons. Timeout, Coyotes.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
25-24 Parsons. And that one goes a little bit long. It'll be a 26-24 finish for the Parsons in the opening set. So we have played one. And after one, the advantage is one, and it belongs to the Parsons.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
You see an empty field. We see a world-class tournament. We see an amazing wedding day. An empty stadium becomes a music festival. We see a blank canvas. We're the people who bring the biggest events to life. Discover event planning at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Grayson serve, opening serve into the net, the early lead belonging to the Parsons. As the ladies have swapped sides of the floor. And the serve will swap sides of the floor as well. Serving it up is Manley. Stewart aiming for the corner and goes a little bit long. Manley again on the serve. Boudreaux sends it over towards the sidelines. 3-zip Parson lead to begin set number 2. Manley the serve, Boudreaux the dig. Over it goes to Craman, mid part of the floor, drives it off of Bismuth. That'll wind up in the stands, and the Coyotes put their first on the board here in set number 2. It's not a must-win set, but it's one you would certainly like to get if you're the Coyotes and knot it up at 1 each. Alexandria Miller serving. Little joust there on the net. Alleman sends it into the backcourt. Over it goes to Devine, and Devine smacks it off Snow. Three-point lead for the Parsons. Served up by Godwin. Wilson driving it off Godwin. When these teams met on the 12th of September, Snead State won the opening set 25-12. When they met on the 23rd of September, Snead State won it 25-16. So the Coyotes narrow the margin, but still a Parson win in the opening set. Crayman shoving it over to Alleman and apparently hit it twice. Makes it a 5-2 Parsons lead. Wilson off, Hardigan in, serving is Dismuke. Number 4 in the ACCC in digs with 386. Alleman banging it off of Eli. And the Coyotes draw to within 2 as Sophie Crayman checks in. Or actually not in, but back to serve. She doesn't come off the floor. Number 10 in the conference in digs and digs percent. Serve picked up by Godwin. And that will drop in front of the inline for Rowell. Serve back over to the other side of the floor. Doing the honors is Laney Phillips. 34 aces on the year for Phillips. Crayman with a dig. Hardigan. Free ball sent over by German. Dismuke. Bumping it to Tyler. That is Kelsey Tyler, who is now in. Alleman sending it over to Rowell. Into the backcourt. Miller able to pick it up. Over to German. Drives. Bump pass from Tyler. And that'll be sent into the net. And get the Coyotes to within 2. Serve back over to this side of the floor. Coyotes at home, 4-5. And of course, home this year isn't home next year. Next year, the gymnasium will be renovated. And they'll be playing back on campus. It's their temporary home, a vacation spot. Hardigan with the back set. German steps up, bangs it into the net. Dismuke again on the serve. Meanwhile, on the road, Snead State now 6-3 after that loss to Bishop State. Back set Alleman. It is blocked by Godwin. Boudreaux picks it up out of bounds. Crayman with a free ball over, setting up the mid part of the floor. And shot by Eli, dug out by Boudreaux. Bumped over to Tyler, and Tyler sends it into the net. I think there are 2 more matches here on Saturday against Calhoun, and then on the 26th against Gulf Coast. Still a lot of volleyball in South's future, but just not here. I'll skim off a number of Coyotes, last of which was Wilson. Serving is Mackenzie Eli. Eli with 8 aces this year. And that'll be dropped into the corner. That, by the way, was Megan Lee, who checked into the game and serves up an ace. Megan Lee had 16, now 17 on the year. A little fan in the stands that got in on the action. Retrieved the volleyball and threw it back onto the floor, where she's delighted. Big smile on the face. If you can kind of semi get into the game. Delights the youngsters. Stewart tipping it over. And it is banged over by Godwin. Check that. There's a kill from Jaylee Devine. And the Parsons will double up on the Coyotes 10-5. Megan Lee continuing to serve. She's been in 27 matches and 95 sets this year. Tops in that category for the Parsons, Rowell has been in 117. German in the net. German, one of a number of Coyotes that sat out quite a bit of time due to an injury. I think Randall Rollison is dressed out tonight. It's been a while since she's been able to play. Over to Wilson, and Wilson goes long. 7-point Parsons lead. Coyotes call time.
Discover culinary arts at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Great to have you watching coverage tonight. A big thank you to you for pulling us up on YouTube or on JockJive. Craman getting the lead serve, setting up Stewart, two-handed dink over. Got a back set, Tyler drives it, but a whistle prior to the Ottoman shot. And an illegal move on the part of the Coyotes, turn it into a 13-5 Parson lead. By the way, if you are watching on YouTube and haven't subscribed, please do. If you're not watching on YouTube, hey, you can still subscribe. Pulled off the net by Ottoman. Tipped over by Stewart. German to Ottoman to German. Into the backcourt lead. Over it goes to Godwin, and that's off German. And out of bounds. 9-point Parson lead. Thanks so much to all the Coastals, AD Daniel Hand, for the opportunity to bring you Coastal Alabama volleyball, all of their home games. Godwin the block of the German shot. And the Parsons building the match's first double-digit lead. I think everything just about set into the net with the Lee serve for the postseason. It begins with a play-in game on Thursday, November 2nd in the Civic Center. So everything, including the play-in game, there was a question at some point as to whether the play-in game would be played at the Civic Center, might be at some other neutral site. Craman down the line and in. Two straight from the Coyotes, trying to get back into the game. But it's now set. Thursday night, your 2-4s will have a play-in game. Back set, Tyler shoves it over with two hands. Ottoman. Wilson, that's a little too strong with a back set. Wilson couldn't get a shot off. And the Parsons will serve. After winning the opening set in 3-set matches, the Parsons are 8-3. Well, I've mentioned it before. If you could just kind of bottle that serve up and do it every time? About 95% of the time you get just what Manley got, and that is an ace. Just nibble in the top of the net. Cramen tipping it over. It will drop in. Boudreaux off the floor. Martin and Miller in. Stewart comes out two for Coastal Alabama South. Alexandria Miller will serve. Obviously, Coastal South now hoping for a 4-set match. And in 4-set matches, they are 2 and 4. Alleman able to get a piece of it. Miller got it. Cramen hops up after the dive and puts the free ball up, blocked by Wilson and Martin. Martin shoves it over. Able to get there, Rowell. Tipped over by Godwin. Alleman gets to it. Snow, the bump. Wilson drives. And I think that got the antenna on the way over. Coyotes by 10 again. Godwin serving. Snead State, their longest win streak 5 this year. And that goes a little bit long on the serve. Longest losing streak, 2. And as a matter of fact, it's only happened twice and just happened today. They lost to Enterprise State and then Bishop State. And that's only the second time this year they've lost 2 in a row. Wilson serving again. In the prior 2 meetings between these two, 14 kills for Wilson. Picked up by Snow. Alleman setting up Martin, but Martin goes wide. Hardigan checking into the lineup. Well, I said that Rollison is dressed out tonight, and she is, but she doesn't have the warm-up off, so it would, there's like a warm-up shirt, t-shirt. That would be an indication that she does not anticipate getting into the ball game. Shoved over to Alleman. Alleman aims for the corner and drops it in. Well, I've noticed that our Facebook feed stopped about 12 seconds in. I don't know what happened. But we're available on JockJive and YouTube. Rowell misfiring. And Cramen will serve again. Volleyball coming up on Wednesday. What a big matchup Wednesday. Bishop State and Coastal Alabama North. Then on Saturday, we'll be in Bruton and here in Bay Minette. Bruton at 1 o'clock for Calhoun and Coastal North. Here at 6 p.m. for Calhoun and Coastal South. Cramen launches it. Goes long. And the Parsons 5 away from taking set number 2. In to serve is Lainey Phillips. 34 aces on the team. That is 4th best for the Parsons. Got the top of the net and goes back over to the Parsons side. Kinsley Martin serving. Martin with 7 aces this year. A 124 hitter on a 165 hitting Coastal South squad. Both teams hitting 165. Alleman drives it. Nisbuke able to pick it up, shoved over to Rowell. Rowell will knock it off Cramen. Rowell will serve for the Parsons. She is the #1 killer in the ACCC. 326 kills, but long with that serve. Triple digits in digs too for Rowell with 199. Sarah Alleman serving. #9 in the conference with 500, make that 5 assists per game, picks up the ace. 11th of the year. And will serve it up again. Picked up by Rowell. Eli Long. At one point, it was a 10-point game. It has been trimmed to 4. And Alleman serves again. Rowell gets to it first. Shoved over to Godwin. Drives it. Boudreaux with the dig. Wilson. Alleman sending it over. And that is shot this direction. Dropped in to make it a 22-17 advantage, Parsons. 3 away from wrapping up the set. Megan Lee checking in to serve. This year, 65 set victories for the Parsons. 42 losses. Back set to German. And German sends it into the net. So they came into the day with 107 sets played. Played 5 earlier today. Puts them at 112. So this is their 114th set. That goes long. Devine trying to drop it in front of the inline, but well, apparently got fingertips though. Our corner judge says long. Our main judge says fingers. Set point, Wilson got the corner. Coyotes not willing to call it quits yet in set number 2. Grayson Snow checking in to serve. Grayson Snow, 4 aces this year. Shoved over to Godwin, dinks it over. Boudreaux's there. Alleman sends it to Wilson, and Wilson will send it off of Devine. Grayson Wilson again serving. Back set. That goes long. Devine trying to send it inside the sideline. And the Coyotes not quitting yet. Launched over by Snow. Setting up Tyler, and Tyler will drop it in. Couple of sets won by the Parsons. We have played 2. They take the commanding 2-0 lead as we head to set number 3, a must-win set for the Coyotes.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Is the 7 guy. Right up the middle, base hit, back-to-back base hit. Starter with a double. The single from Cumbie coming to the plate and tagged down at home.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. So what are you waiting for? Discover aviation at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Hey, don't forget, got some assignments for you, and you got to love this homework because you don't have to do it. But would like for you to, if you haven't already, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Put JockJive in the search engine, you probably will be able to find us. I don't think there are any other JockJives. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Got some programming exclusive to YouTube coming. Plus, you know how it works. You get alerts when we create the link, when the link goes active. And it is JockJive Sports Live. That is our YouTube channel. JockJive Sports Live. Wednesday, Coastal North and Bishop State. Saturday, Coastal North Calhoun, Coastal South Calhoun. Friday, got football. Bayside Academy in Orange Beach. On a relatively light scheduled week. Don't have nearly as much this week. Craman finding a vacant spot. Drops it in. Must-win set for the Coyotes. I don't know how many games we had last week. Of course, we had some baseball mixed in. Had 9 baseball games. I think it was 2 football and about 4 volleyball. So 15 or so. Nearly 2. That was knocked onto the goalpost here at Bay Minette Middle. This week, just I think it's like a what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game schedule. So yeah, a lot lighter. But hang on, it'll get busy. Over to Craman. Craman drives it into the net. And the Parsons pick up their first point. Serving is Gracie Manley. Manley with those 47 aces. Second most on the team. Martin sends it over. Manley able to dig it out. Knew where it was coming. Godwin stuck on top of the net. The block by Martin, and Martin, number 1 on the team in doing just that. Rachel Wilson will serve. Taking a look at when these two teams met previously, as that one winds up right here in our midst. And it knocks my little microphone down that's giving you all these sounds from Bay Minette. So let me place that back on its not particularly firm perch. There we go. And I missed who got the point. So I'm going to have to step around the corner of the stage and find out. That'll drop in. Rachel Wilson serving in what I think is a 5-1 game. Yeah, the arrangement here is that my location is around the corner from the scoreboard. Godwin tries to flip it over. Craven says, And Wilson will serve again. So when you get distracted for a moment, like to retrieve an errant volleyball on the stage with you and readjust the floor mic, you might lose track of who's done what. So the next time out, I'll step around the corner and see. I got 6-2, it could be 5-3. Godwin will serve. Alleman there first. Hardigan will track it down. Free ball sent over by Snow. And that will wind up here on the stage as well. So I will retrieve. Give to Godwin. And that point I know was awarded to the Parsons. Saw it before the volleyball storm hit. That is wide. And speaking of hitting, it hit our corner judge. Serve back over to the Coyotes. It is a must-win set for Coastal South. Godwin on the receiving end, shoved over to Rowell, and Rowell. Well, the whistle blew prior to the kill, so there was a violation prior to the Rowell shot. Point still awarded, and there you see some of the body language from German that is probably indicative of who got the infraction. And awarded the point to Lee and company. Megan Lee will serve for the Parsons. Craven there first. Hardigan over to Alleman. Alleman able to send it through the would-be block of Sydney Wilson. Kinsley Martin serving. It is fisted over by Martin. Godwin gets to it first. And Rowell couldn't reach to get a second pass off. Kinsley Martin, 7 aces on the year. Floats it over to Godwin. Bumped over to Rowell. Drives across court. Dug out by Martin. German sends it onto the floor for Stewart. Rowell again driving it off the Manley setup. Craven with a dig. It is sent over by Wilson. And that is shoved into the antenna. Who hit it before it did? Was it Wilson or was it Alleman? It was Wilson. That happened quickly, but the official right there. And Martin serves again. Tyler driving it over. Back set German. And German the kill. And a timeout on the floor. And an opportunity for me to look around the corner and make sure we've got our score right. We do know the Coyotes lead it.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, if you're saying, hey, wasn't it 11-4 going into the timeout? Yep. But, you know, I was talking about not being able to see the scoreboard and temporarily distracted. That's what I'm using as my excuse. I'm just not sure exactly how. I got one side right and the other wrong. I mean, you would think they would both be wrong. Like you'd have one too many for one team and not enough by one for the other. But hey, that's how I can discombobulate things. But it's correct now. As it is served over again by Martin. Maybe it was a premonition. It is 11-4 now. Godwin into the net. And Martin again serving. Biggest lead of the match for the Coyotes at 8. Back set Manley. Driven over by Wilson. Alleman shoves and drops it in front of the sideline. And the Coyotes bound and determined to get to a fourth set. In 4-set matches, Snead stayed 8-3. And of course, where the Coyotes are concerned, they need to play a total of 5. And they are 11 away from forcing a fourth one. Little shove over by Eli, and that will go out of bounds over toward the scorer's table. Turn it into an 11-point ball game. And Martin continuing to serve, and the Coyotes continuing to build to the lead. Into the net, and for the first time in some time, it'll be a Parson serving. And then Parson is Laney Phillips. 34 aces on the year for Phillips. Sends it over to Boudreau. Hargan shoving it to Stewart. Able to get a piece of it off the net was Hutchinson. It is dinked over by Stevens. Stewart. Into the backcourt by J.C. Stevens. Godwin able to get there. Lee floating it over to Tyler. Stewart bumping into German. Sends it into the backcourt. Godwin's there. Cramen with a dive and save. And a fist over by Tyler. Boudreau able to get there. Stewart will send it into the net. Well, the matchup between these two teams, they've played twice. The only set victory for South came in a third set. It was the third set when they met on the 23rd of September. Timeout on the floor. Coach Delaney does not want this one to even get close and asks for time.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
7 serving 15. And now 8 serving 15. Serving it up is Lainey Phillips, 34 aces on the year. Floats it over, Craven able to dig it out. Hardigan shoving it over to Alleman. Alleman will drive it across. It is bumped over to Stevens. Stevens into the backcourt to Boudreaux. Stewart tips it into the corner. Lee tries to dive and get there. And the Coyotes with an 8-point lead. Sarah Alleman serving. Over goes to Tyler, into the backcourt to Boudreaux. High into the air, Alleman shoves it over to Wilson, and that will go off of Hutchinson and out of bounds. Coyotes by 9, 8 away from forcing a 4th set. Alleman with the serve. Lee, first pass. Back set to Stevens. Blocked by Stewart. Lead back to 10 for the Coyotes. And Alleman serving again. Snead stayed 4-3 against South Division teams. Lee bumping it over to Phillips. And the Coyotes are back out in front by 11. Alleman again on the serve. Alleman with 31 assists in the 2 meetings between these two. Godwin puts it over. Assisting Wilson, it is blocked by Tyler. Well, maybe not. Apparently didn't get over the net. It looked like it dropped on the other side, but apparently fell on this side. And Alleman will serve again, able to just get it over the net. Shoved over by Phillips. And that is blocked by Hutchinson. Stevens off the floor. Rowell is back in for the Parsons, and Rowell will serve. 9 serving 20, 5 away from a 4th set are the Coyotes. Craven. Alleman sending it over to Stewart, drives it. Rowell is there. And nobody could get to the pass. Phillips tried. The Coyotes pouring it on. Biggest lead of the match. A 12-point advantage with a Snow serve. Over it goes to Godwin. Boudreaux picks it up in the backcourt. Back set by Alleman. Craven sends it over. Rowell to Phillips. Tyler driving into Boudreaux. Setting up Stewart, dinks it over. Godwin gets a hand on it. Snow gets underneath. Over to Wilson, tips it over. Phillips there. Lee bumps it over to Godwin. Godwin, wrong side of the antenna. And the Coyotes with a dominant performance here in 3. But when you look back at that other 3rd set win, which happened on the 23rd of September. It was big then, 25-14, but bigger now at 23-9.
You see an empty field. We see a world-class tournament. We see an amazing wedding day. An empty stadium becomes a music festival. We see a blank canvas. We're the people who bring the biggest events to life. Discover event planning at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Coyotes a couple of points away from forcing a fourth set. 23-9 advantage, as I mentioned, when they met on the 23rd of September. That one South win was in set 3 when they won at 25-14. Even more dominant here at 23-9. Snow serving it up. The libero dispute back in for the Parsons. A little collision between Snow and Boudreaux, but still able to get it over. Nice return on the dig by Clark. Wilson trying to get there. Craman bumping it. And dropping it in the corner is Holloman. And Snow now at set point. Dismute. Back set. Launched over by Hutchinson. Stewart. Can you get it inside the antenna? No. Trying to do so, but not able to was Lyles. And what a dominant performance by the Coyotes in set number 3, forcing a fourth. 25-9, your final score. Set 4 coming up.
Discover culinary arts at Coastal Alabama Community College.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
What a dominant performance in set number 3 by the Coyotes, who will try to match that in set 4 and force a 5th. Retrieved by Lee, shoved over to Wilson. Wilson going cross court from the left side. Dismute there. Godwin sending it over. Ottoman able to get to it. Snow setting up Wilson, and Wilson will drive it in for the opening point. But a 25-9 third set score. It's just not that often anymore that a team doesn't at least go double digits. Setting up Stewart. She'll drive it. Got fingertips on the way out. Reaching up, trying to get a piece of it on the block was Devine. Well, as I mentioned, the Coyotes have got to have this one go to 5. In 5-set matches, they are 2-1. Snead State in 5-set matches are 2-5. Snow too long. Into the lineup comes Sydney Wilson. So you got a couple of Wilsons on the floor. Sydney for the Parsons, Rachel for the Coyotes. Ottoman able to pull it back over. Cramen will send it over. And then Cramen ran into Stewart trying to get back to her spot on the floor. And that's where it was dropped by Devine. Served up by Manley. Cramen sending it over. Dive to get to it by Manley. Godwin over to Devine. Back set to Cramen. Goes into the backcourt off Dismuke. Alexandria Miller in to serve. Miller a non-starter, but she plays a ton of minutes. 23 matches, 79 sets. And in the prior meeting between these two, played in every set in the 3-1 Snead State win and played in every set in the 3-0 Parson win. Over goes to Rowell. Tips it over, but drops it out. Coyotes with a lead by 1, and Rachel Wilson will serve. The freshman who the Coyotes are delighted is back a year more. Her sophomore season coming up. What a great job of pulling it off the floor and then eventually able to get a shot off Godwin, but not good enough to get the point. And Coyotes take a 5-3 lead. Wilson on the serve. Dismuke gets to it first. Devine blocked by Martin. Shoved over by Manley. Tipped over by Ottoman. Bumped over to Rowell. Blocked by Martin. Able to get a piece of it eventually is Ottoman. Snow underneath the Manley shot and is blocked by Devine. Dismuke will serve, the libero for Snead State. 38 aces on the year. 1 kill, but hey, that's not her job. Into the net with the serve. And Sophie Cramen will serve. Her 16 aces, 3rd best on the team. Floats it over to Godwin. Setting up Eli. Eli with the drive, able to return it. Rowell. And that will go off of Miller. Dismuke again serving. Nice crowd on hand watching volleyball at Bay Minette Middle. As I mentioned, we'll come back here twice. Saturday and again on the 26th. Back set to Martin. And that will go off the fingertips of Eli. Coyotes trying to tie it at 2. Martin will serve. Coyotes 24 set victories and 40, make that 57 losses. Setting up, Alleman drives it over. Rowell there, back set. Manley Shoving it over, Craman able to get underneath. Aiming for the corner, Harnigan. Back over it goes to Rowell. In the backcourt, Martin's there. Alleman drives it. Dismute gets to it. Able to bump it over was Eli. German on the floor, sends it over. Stewart with a left hand across. Back over to Rowell. Blocked but out of bounds off German. And Martin off the floor, Boudreau in. In to serve for the Parsons is Lee in a 1-point game. Set number 4. It is the 7th time this year the Coyotes have played in a 4-set match. It is the 12th time. Well, actually, check that, because technically the 5-set matches have played 4. So they've been in the 4th set now 10 times. That'll go wide, break the 7-all tie, give the Coyotes the 1-point lead. Snead State has been in a 4th set for a total of 18 times. Into the backcourt to Dismute. Back set, Eli sends it over. Alleman can't return it. We are tied up at 8 each. Checking in to serve is Caitlin Clark. Clark has been in 28 matches, 86 sets. Bumped over by Stewart. And is off Boudreau off the scoreboard, and whistle had already blown once it hit, not the scoreboard, but the goalpost. So I'm assuming the goalpost is not fair territory. Clark again on the serve, Craman to it first. Alleman with a back set over to German, drives it, kills it, tied at 9. Grayson Snow in as German goes to the sidelines. Nine apiece, Snow with the serve. First pass lead, Godwin launches it over. Snow got a piece of it, Wilson bumps it to Boudreau. Libero to Dismute on the other side. Blocked by Wilson. Dismute, this time to the other Libero, Boudreau. Stewart, Dismute saves it. Floated over by Phillips. Setting up Wilson on the attack. Able to get to it, Lee. Bump back over to Godwin, sends it into the backcourt. Boudreau's there. Stewart will drive it from the mid part of the floor. Over to Godwin, got it inside the antenna, dropped it in front of the in-line. Parsons by 1. Serving is Gracie Manley. Floats it over to Boudreau. Setting up Wilson. And Wilson goes long. Gracie Manley again serving. Little dink over by Devine, setting up Stewart. She'll drive it. And it's a 1-point game. Into the backcourt by Miller. Godwin there first. Manley setting up Devine with a two-handed shove. Craman banging it through the block, but Dismark there in the backcourt. That is blocked by Martin. We're tied at 11. Coyotes with back-to-back-to-back must-win sets if they're going to knock off the Parsons tonight. Over it goes to Godwin. Took me a while. So long that Wilson got an opportunity to kill and give the lead to the Coyotes. Miller will serve. Got the net, drops on the other side, picks up the ace. And the lead is 2. Let's see if Miller can do that again. Nope, a little taller with the serve this time. Back set to Godwin. And Godwin drives it into the net. Coyotes a 3-point lead. Parsons say let's talk.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. So what are you waiting for? Discover aviation at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Hey, don't forget, coming up on Wednesday from Bruton, Alabama, it is Coastal Alabama North and Bishop State. Huge matchup to determine who is 3 and 4 in the ACCC South. Pack set a little too strong, and Devine can't track it down. Coyotes fresh off a win over Gadsden State, another North team trying to make it 2 straight. Off Martin's fingertips, dug out by Alleman. Sent over by Snow. And that will be driven across by Devine. Godwin will serve. 12 serving 15. Snow gets it first. Back set to Wilson. Wilson off the net. And that altered the defensive plans for Godwin on the other side. Couldn't get to it. Turns it into a 4-point lead. 9 away from forcing a 5th set. 13 away from wrapping it up are the Parsons. Shoved over to Cramen on the opposite side of the floor. Godwin able to get to it. Rowell. Pancake by Wilson, but it will drop and turn into a 13 serving 16. Hardigan coming in, Wilson out. Dismuke back to serve for the Parsons. Setting up Martin. Dismuke able to get there. Driven back over by Alleman. Over it goes to Rowell. Blocked by Cramen. Coyotes put that lead back to 4. Coyotes head to Selma. And that will happen on Thursday night, taking on Wallace Selma, the only team they've beaten in the South thus far. And back-to-back wins only once this year, trying to make it twice. After the 3-1 win over Gadsden State on Saturday. Cramen serving. Bumped over to Rowell, drives it into the backcourt. Miller's there. Hardigan able to get to it. Alleman will send it across. Manley shoves it over. Hardigan with a dive. Dropped on the other side of the net. The lead goes to 6. Coyotes trying to create some separation and force a 5th matchup, a 5th set in this battle with the Parsons. That goes long. And you got to wonder, where the Parsons are concerned, at 8:30 on a Monday night, if fatigue hasn't set in a little bit. I don't know if they made the journey today to Mobile to take on Bishop State first and then played 5 sets. Probably did. I think that the volleyball came right up into our vicinity and knocked my power off, but didn't take the picture away. So go ahead, admit it. You were like, hey, we kind of liked it without you running your mouth. Well, they pay me to do the play-by-play, so I guess I'll do a little more in a 2015 game. Martin serving. But hey, I'll take the loss of the power briefly with the mixer. When one of those shots comes up onto the stage, you're always worried what all it could hit and break. And what kind of connection you can lose. I guess if you were going to have any connection lost with that shot that came up here, that's the best one to have, because it was fixable relatively quick. Lee will serve. 4-point Coyote lead. Hardigan setting up German, and German gets the Coyotes 4 away from a 5th set. Alleman serving. 192 kills on the year for Alleman, second most on the team, behind Wilson's 206. Nibble the net. Dismute returns the Wilson shot. Godwin tipping it over. Alleman able to get there. Cramen got a piece of it. Stewart with a free ball over. Over it goes to Godwin. Drives it. Alleman picks it up. Cramen pumping into Wilson. And Wilson got the antenna. Caitlin Clark will serve. A 148 hitter. Drives it over to Cramen. Setting up Wilson, and Wilson couldn't clear the net. Seven away from a win. The Parsons 4 away from a 5th set. It is the Coyotes. Cramen first pass. Alleman back set to Stewart. And Stewart will go wide. Coyotes stuck on 21. Clark again serving. Back set. Stewart drives it. Manley able to get there. Not able to bring it back over though. And Grayson Snow checks in to serve. Coyotes need half as many of the Parsons to get to 25. Snow launches it. That will go against the antenna. And the Coyotes 2 away from a 5th set. Coyotes have only played in a 5th set 3 times this year. Parsons twice that many, 6. Craman drives it. I wanted to go over and confirm. As I mentioned, I can't see the scoreboard from my vantage point, and nobody else gets distracted when a volleyball rattles around their equipment, probably, but just me. And I was a point behind. But there's what you got. A 25-18 final in set number 4, forcing a 5th set. My apologies, but got to figure out a different vantage point for viewing the scoreboard. Of course, there's not a vantage point for viewing the scoreboard. It's one or the other. So I picked the other. You getting a view of the floor and me occasionally getting up to look at the scoreboard. There's what it's got for you, though, after 4. A 1st set win for the Parsons. A 2nd set win for the Parsons. But 3 and 4 go to the Coyotes.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
You made it. You went further than even you believed. You took your friends, your teammates, teachers, and coaches. You needed Dad, but Mom was there through it all. See, you didn't do it alone. It took a united effort. It also took you. United Baseball is a
Knotted up at 2 each. And here we go with set number 5. I've had a couple of Coyotes pass the camera waving and saying, "Hi, Mom," but it's been during commercial breaks. But hey, if you're Mom and you're watching, then let's see, who have been the 2? Peyton Hardigan and Alexandria Miller. They've both gone to the camera and said, "Hey, Mom, sorry we were in the commercial break." They didn't know it, but you didn't get to see it. And got to be a lot of delighted Coyotes. Overcoming a 2-0 deficit, turning it into a 2-2 contest and sending us into the 5th set. Bumped over to Wilson. Wilson to Dismuke. Setting up Godwin. Dinks it over. Ottoman got there. Boudreaux trying to retrieve as well and couldn't. Opening point belongs to the Parsons. Coyotes have an above 500 mark in 5-set matches. They are 2-1. Parsons are noticeably under the 500 mark when going to 5-set matches. They are and 5. And as I mentioned, having little voice issues, so I don't know if that 2 came out as a 2. It was kind of like a and 5. But it's a 2 and 5 mark. Are the Parsons in 5-set matches. Coyotes take the lead. Nibble the net. Devine gets it. Bumped over to Wilson. Drives it over. Devine using the left hand. Tips it across. Over to Wilson. Dinks it over. Manley there. Dismute bumping it to Godwin. And Miller able to get a piece of it, but not able to return it. Two apiece and 2 apiece. 2 each in the set, 2 each in the match. Snow there first, setting up Cramen. Dinks it over. Coyotes get the lead back. And Rachel Wilson will serve. Floats it to Rowell, tipped over Miller. Alleman sending up Cramen, fires into the backcourt. Dismute there. Back over it goes to Rowell. Snow able to get to it. Godwin. Devine dinks it over. Cramen underneath. Alleman drives it. It is blocked off of fingertips. Wilson trying to send it over. Wilson with a block. And the Coyotes with a 2-point lead. Wilson again serving. Coyotes trying to go 3-1 in 5-set matches and win back-to-back matches for only the second time. Well, I think one side thought the point was awarded to the Coyotes, the other side thinking it was to the Parsons. It is the Parsons. Our corner judge thought it went out. He was overruled, and gotta admit the overruling is right. Dropped right here in the corner. Hardigan with a set of Martin. Manley able to get a hand on it. Rowell drives it, blocked. Back set. Well, the back set wound up going over to the Coyote side. Cross court, Alleman shot. Cramen will serve. 16 aces on the year for Cramen. Has played in every match, every set for the Coyotes. Rowell drives it. Miller able to get there. German lofts it. Godwin underneath. And a violation on Manley trying to get to a little strong pass from Godwin. Cramen fires it to Godwin. Launched over by Rowell. Cramen able to get there. Shoved over by Hardigan. Setting up the mid part of the floor. A little joust between Eli and German. Dinked over Alleman, but Cramen's there. Back over it goes to Alleman. Aims for the other side. Rowell able to get there. Godwin into the backcourt to Miller. Back set Hardigan. German driving too long. Wilson off the floor. In comes Phillips to serve for Snead State. Snead State has played 10 sets today. Back set to Martin. Aims for the other side. Phillips sends it high into the air. It's a 1-point game. Phillips again serving. 5 serving 6. Floated over to Kramer. Hardigan with a back set. Martin dinks it over. Godwin underneath. Back over it goes to Rowell. Boudreau the save. Hardigan. Free ball sent over by Martin. Back set Manley. Hardigan is there. It is tipped by Kramer to German. German drives and it's set on the neck of Eli. And Martin will serve. Two-point Coyote lead. Floated over the ace by Martin. Ladies will swap sides of the floor and will resume play. This is something that, I know it's really small, really odd, but if you watch a lot of volleyball, this is just tradition. Swap sides of the floor after each set. You do it about halfway through when somebody gets to 8 in the 5th set. Didn't happen during the pandemic. And though it is teeny tiny, I don't know, it just kind of is part of what makes up volleyball. Missed it. It's back. And the Coyotes are up by 3 with a timeout on the floor.
Discover culinary arts at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, if you had to go away when Snead State won the opening set and just got back, it's been busy. Coyotes got down by 2, knotted it up at 2, lead it by 3 in the 5th set. Rowell driving in cross court, Hardigan there. Floated over to Dismuke. Setting up Eli, and Eli will drop it in. Parsons score coming out of the timeout. Megan Lee to serve, the sophomore, a 171 hitter on a 165 hitting Snead State squad. Sends it over to Kramer. Hardigan setting up Stewart. It is blocked by Eli, back over by Stewart. Coastal south by 3 again. Alleman serving. Coyotes needing 6 to win. Parsons needing 9. Setting up Eli, and she hits an errant shot to the corner. Alleman again on the serve. Dismute picks it up in the backcourt. Phillips setting up Godwin. Drives it over off Boudreau. Serve back over to the Parsons. Caitlin Clark checking in, the 148 hitter with 12 aces coming into today. The freshman serving for the Parsons. Sends it to Wilson. Alleman setting up German, and German goes long. One hour and 50 minutes after this one gets underway. It still has yet to be determined. Will the Coyotes win their 7th? Or will the Parsons win their 19? Manley blocks it out of bounds. Off of Wilson. And it's a 1-point game. Clark again serving. Cramen to it first. Alleman. We are tied at 10 after the illegal hit. Coyotes asking for time.
You see an empty field. We see a world-class tournament. We see an amazing wedding day. An empty stadium becomes a music festival. We see a blank canvas. We're the people who bring the biggest events to life. Discover event planning at Coastal Alabama Community College.
You could not ask for any closer. Tied at 2 in matches, tied at 10 in set 5. Floated over by Clark. Cramen able to get there. Back set. Stewart dinks it over. Picked up by Lee. Devine smashes it over, and the Parsons take the lead. (11-10) advantage for the Parsons. Caitlin Clark on the serve. Sends it over to Wilson. Pumps it to Alleman. German off of Clark. We are tied at 11. Grayson Snow to serve. Floated to Dismute. Phillips setting up Devine. A rocket off Snow. And back and forth we go with Manley serving. Boudreau, first pass Alleman, setting up Cramen, drives it. Point Coyotes tied at 12. Coyotes trying to take the advantage. It almost feels like we're at the end of the game where somebody's trying to lead by 2. Devine makes it a 1-point Parson lead. Godwin to serve. Alina Godwin with 57 aces, tops on the team. Sends it over to Cramen. She and Snow run into one another, and the Parsons by 2. Timeout on the floor, Coyotes. Parsons trying to wrap it up here.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Parsons at set and match point with their top ace hitter serving. Snow gets it first. Cramen pumps it over to Wilson. Wilson drives it. Godwin saves it. Shoved over by Martin. That heads up onto the stage. And it's a 14-13 game. Wilson will serve, but not before the timeout. Parsons, they want to talk now.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Coyotes trying to tie it up at 14. Rachel Wilson will serve. Just cleared the net. Got the ace off Dismute. 14 each. If you're Rachel Wilson, you picked a fine time for an ace. And we are tied at 14. Somebody's got to get to 16. Devine drives it. And is off the fingertips of Oliver. Parsons again at set and match point. With Dismute serving the libero. 38 aces this year for Dismute. Snow got there first. Cardigan over to Alleman. Godwin there, driven in front of the sideline by Martin. 17 is now the point in which somebody can win this one. Snow coming out, German in, Cramen to serve. We have gone back and forth since it was 14-12. And is blocked out of bounds off German. And for a third time, Parsons are at set and match point. Lainey Phillips to serve. She's got 34 aces this year. Cramen gets there first. Over to German, drives it. And that will go out of bounds to tie it at 16. 18 is now the point of victory. Kinsley Martin serving. 3 times the advantages belong to the Parsons. Coyotes would love to go up by 1 and take the ad here. Shoved over by Rowell, able to get underneath German. A little joust, and again, it's the Parsons who gain the advantage. Eli tipping it over. 4th time to set and match point for Snead State. Megan Lee, the 171 hitter, with 16 aces, sends it to Cramen. Setting up Stewart. And that will go off Eli. You know the routine. Got to win by 2. Somebody now needs 19. Alleman serving. Only seems fair that the Coyotes should take the advantage sometime. They do. After 4 straight set and match points for the Parsons, here's the Coyotes at set and match point. Alleman on the serve. To Dismute. Tipped over by Wilson. Over to Godwin. Boudreaux's got it in the backcourt. Setting up Wilson. Drops it in. Coyotes win. This one is over, and the Coyotes have won back-to-back matches for the 2nd time this year, but this is big. They knock off the number 3 out of the North. There's your finals. Parsons take the first 2, Coyotes the last 3. And Coastal South will improve to 3-1 in 5-set matches, 7 and 17 overall. And as I mentioned at the outset, they don't have a chance for postseason. Every game that remains is their postseason. And a big victory tonight over the Parsons. 3 sets to 2. Another big game coming up on Wednesday, Coastal North and Bishop State. Major implications in the South. We'll see you then. Thanks so much for watching our coverage. For Daniel Head, AD of all the Coastals, and for all the Coyotes, and for JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, and thanks for watching.